just in case my dogs start barking.
Let me- I'm muting as well.
Just checking for sound. Just checking for sound. Okay. I know we are live. Welcome, everybody. We are using a new system today, so let's make sure everything's working. Everybody can see my screen. We were looking earlier at basically the ETF volumes since they were documenting it since the 11th of January. And we see a steady incline, basically sitting at 40 billion now, which is quite a lot in a short space of time. If I'm not mistaken, the BlackRock one is sitting at 100,000, just over 100,000 Bitcoin in the fund, which is exponential buying. I think Kiru said 10,000 a day, which I mean, that can't really be possible. Because then by the end of next month, they'll have almost 500,000 Bitcoin. Anyway, let's have a look where Bitcoin is sitting. Obviously, everybody has seen that it's pumped for the week. We're sort of sitting up there, 50, just under 53. You know, all that green. I'm tempted to want to look at what that level was because we're sitting right there at this. Well, the last time price was here was end of 2021. So either we're going to break that and use that as a level to jump off of, or we pause a little bit, come down here, make that the floor, if you want to put it that way. I think that's a monthly close there. Just need to confirm. Yes, so blue is monthly. If you go up, we'd look for it to at least fight up there. So there's a lot of speculation going on now. The thing is, for once, we're seeing volume follow through on. Let me just add volume. Not sure where it disappeared to. So normal volume. Why do I have a dinosaur there? I don't know where the volume has disappeared to. Anyway, for some reason, sharing the screen takes stall. Anyway, moving on. We also finally saw a breakout of, I know for the past few weeks, we've been seeing Bitcoin live at the 21 ounce to a Bitcoin. It's now happily breaking away from gold, and it's now 26 ounces per Bitcoin. And if we look at my chart of gold with so the orange line is Bitcoin, and we just overlaying Bitcoin onto gold, which there's been some level of correlation, and we're seeing a breakout now. For me, I think there's big changes happening in the world in the sense of people have realized gold hasn't done major moves. Obviously, on a technical level, there's a lot of things Bitcoin can do that gold cannot do. For one, you can walk over a border with $1 billion in your pocket. Well, technically, a hardware wallet that can control $1 billion, and no one will be the wiser, or nothing's going to stop you. Yes, there will be ramifications trying to cash it out on the other end, but the point is, you cannot walk with $1 billion of gold without being noticed. Firstly, the security risk. Secondly, the laws around it. So I don't think there's that amount of jewelry that you can wear to have $1 billion of gold. And you'd probably have to be quite strong to walk around with that. So on certain levels, Bitcoin does fit the 21st century approach, the connected approach, the light moving around, but still having value. So obviously we're seeing some interest, and obviously that comes with education, I suppose, which and Bitcoin dominance is increasing, which means alts is likely probably not doing anything. And we finally saw that break away from the 1.6 trillion market cap. So for certain, maybe some new money coming in or changing of hands. But Bitcoin running up obviously is helping that. And then last week I wanted to look at Sol BTC, but I don't think I have that chart open. We just create that. Well, technically BTC is strong, but Sol wasn't bad performing this week either. So I would think that a run up to another high that's hasn't been there in a while. If you know what that is. December. But I don't trust December price action. So for me, this is a real move. I don't know. My opinion. I'm sort of testing out our indicator here because for the I've insisted that we use the sessions. I like pretty colors, and I'm always looking at the relationship of every session where we find, let's say, Bitcoin or gold is obviously a much more defined market, but every single session has a high and a low. And I'm trying to sort of watch gold to see what sort of ranges we're sitting in. I'm not gold, Bitcoin. Interesting stuff there. I need more time to be able to determine which session where we're seeing more money coming, because that's an abnormal move for London, which is probably started off by the Asians there. there is method to my madness there. And then just check something. I One of the sort of airdrop things that came across the path, but now they announced the criteria for points, which basically comes down to if you hold $100 for a certain amount of days, you'll get a certain amount of points. Everybody believed that there was a test net. You will get nothing but test net. And obviously, it makes sense. I mean, if you're coming to lock up finance and basically get liquid staking going, I don't see why they would reward testnet stuff, because that's just doing contractual things with no real money. I think they want to build their locked up value. So it makes more sense for them to give points for actual thing. And I'm not sure if everybody heard about the really hated network now, StarkNet, from all the internet farmers, because they announced the criteria, and those who are eligible, for some silly arbitrary reasons, like holding 0.005 ETH at the time of the snapshot was one of the criteria. Most of the people didn't, because they LP'd and focused on number of transactions. In the airdrop space, I suppose the criteria is ever changing. One can be angry, but at the end of the day, any project doesn't owe anybody anything really. Not sure if anybody has questions. So I can't see if YouTube is, if there's any questions on YouTube. So let me have a look. No, I don't see anything. No, that's pretty much, I mean, that's a very short session, but I mean, that's, I wouldn't say it's everything that's happening. There's a lot going on, but I don't know. We mosey on with airdrop activities like Napiru. Let's see if they gave me points today. Yeah, getting somewhere in life. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we should do like baby steps for people getting started, because I'm not sure everybody is on the same page when it comes to being able to work with wallets, multiple networks, moving funds across. There's things we take for granted. There's a lot of projects coming on the way. I think this one, Zero Gravity. I had the website. Let's see if it pulls up the right one. I think it's this one. So a big narrative in the crypto space, which I suppose only crypto people know, is the fluidity and the ability to move across multiple chains, which sounds a lot more complicated than it is. But the problem is that every single blockchain, let's say Bitcoin, Ethereum, even Cardano, Solana, although they work well in their own environment, they are silent from each other in that there's probably major air gaps between them because they're completely different languages and they work very differently. So integrating and moving funds, let's say from Bitcoin to Ethereum, is not directly possible unless you maybe move through a centralized exchange. So send your Bitcoin to, let's say, Binance and then sell to ETH or through ETH. But obviously, in the crypto space, people don't like all the criteria that you have to do to use a centralized exchange. So obviously, to make life easy, you can simply go from Bitcoin to another thing, or whichever way you want to. But I think this one is a bit far away from launch, but I do think they are working elements of it. And if I'm not mistaken, they work on the Conflux network. Um, yeah. So it will only work on the Fluent wallet, which you can put CFX in. I did put some funds in there to test. I never got around to testing. So you see, you will obviously start from a base network and you'll connect something else. Let's say MetaMask. Don't do what I do. And then I know this seems very overly simple, but to be able to move fluently, let's say from Aave Ethereum, well, no, I don't know. I think they're still working on it. But this seems to be all the liquid stake tokens. So let's say we had a C version of something. I'm assuming that would be the Conflux version. And we'd want to put it to there. So we'd have to have the token on that network, on that wallet, and we can move it over there. Now, I'm assuming that they have some speed attached to it and lower fees. I moved some ETH from Ethereum to linear ETH using Jumper Exchange. My word, it took 20 minutes. I was starting to worry. And that's because I think I've gotten used to using something like Orbiter, where it literally takes less than a minute to get from one network to the next. Anyways, sear that into your brain. At some point, it will be launched. Nibiru is more of a real world asset token, I suppose. I think they're very close to launch. That's probably why they're punting the engagement airdrop, which, I mean, it's not like people are mincing their words. They're not even secretly keeping the way. And I think that is half the problem why it's just everyone and their grandmother is doing airdrop stuff. So for me, the aim is to focus on the ones that are not being paid attention to, but are still really good networks. One of them being Scroll. And a lot of the issues in the crypto space is hard to explain, but I think most people, though they use Ethereum and understand how more or less the network works, I think fundamentally the building blocks of Ethereum is actually broken. It is never going to be able to scale because it built on a foundation based on whatever criteria was there. And my simple analogy is that if they built in series, the newer networks are building in parallel. And that's why we're getting things like Monad, Celestia, Say network, which is punting the parallelism. I can never say the word properly. But essentially, it's focusing on settling quite a few transactions at the same time across multiple places, um, which I suppose makes it modular in that way. Whereas as Ethereum is more batching, it's capturing all the things, and it's made the best man win, whoever pays the most gas fee. Um, and quite frankly, you can have your transaction out in the dark because you paid slightly less in gas. Um, Bitcoin operates slightly different in that even if you even if you pay a little fees, it will get confirmed, but you'll have to wait longer. Geez, can we never just do things simply? Anyway, let's see TX rates. So let's, for argument's sake, look at Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Yes, that's what I remember. So if I'm not mistaken, this is Bitcoin this side. So everybody comes to join the train, and whoever pays the most fees gets put in front of the line. But everyone will get to the destination. That might be a bigger amount. um, and that's pretty much how Bitcoin is always. So there's, let's say, 20 positions in one block. So as it gets full, the transactions gets confirmed. If you paid a little fees, you will keep being pushed to the back, but you will eventually get your thing. Wow, I'm seeing a ledger. Jeez, I know how to advertise now. Right? I'm not sure why we're not seeing Ethereum. Nothing's happening in Ethereum. So you can see how they throw all the transactions into one block. And it's just a matter of, the need at the moment and the criteria. So once that gets full, that one will just move off like a bus. I've never really seen how Arbitrum does it in picture form, but it does seem to be a lot more smoother than Ethereum. So because it's a layer 2, I think it's all these things just get thrown here for now, and they will settle it after the fact. I want you to see how Ethereum works versus Bitcoin. And I guess if Ethereum refuses to show, then, well, proves my point. base works slightly different to Arbitrum, but looks to be the same concept because base is actually the same stack as optimism. But because this conveyor belt is moving all the time, it seems like they're a lot faster than Bitcoin. But this is also a matter of if there is enough and a certain large amount of transactions happens, same issues happen on Arbitrum like Ethereum. See, this is a nice site to come to if you want to learn about these things. I want to see Ethereum. And it's just not wanting to work for me. Green light, green light. Anyway, I think that's it for me. Not sure if there are any questions, if anybody's got things to say. I think we shall end it there for today. Hey, Rajesh. You are here.
Yeah, look, I lost track of this. What you're showing us now, is it similar to the DeFi that we used to do, staking and stuff?
No,
Don't show it me
life
now.
has
I'm totally out of it.
no, life has changed a lot. So a lot of what we're doing now is probably airdrop activities, but
Hmm.
how can I say? There's very different projects on different networks. So I don't know what to say. What the most thing is, but a lot of it has to do with staking. But like, let's say we go to the Cosmos network. There's so many
In
projects
other
in
words,
here that are.
you stake, and you basically get airdrops, or you deposit and get airdrops. Sorry.
Yeah, something like that. Like a simple one, like Parcel. Which is a brilliant concept. So, what Parcel is that you can speculate on the rising and falling of real estate markets, which essentially is real world market. So, let's say I think New York is going to increase in value over time. I can then long New York um, using Parcel.
Okay.
Um, if I'm not interested in speculating, then I can post liquidity there and earn fees from the people that are doing that. So I can simply take
Okay.
USDC.
No, I won't take too much of your time. Obviously, I have to catch up a lot.
No. I mean, I want the questions. I've been asking for questions.
Mm.
But like Bitcoin is moving into the mainstream, but there's also a lot of layer two situations on Bitcoin, which is like if we look at Alex, I don't know. There's a lot of things. So
Beckham.
no, I remember. I know I spoke to you about stacks,
Mm.
and I
Yeah.
said, remember,
Yes.
we need
Yeah.
many moons ago we should buy
Mm.
stacks. So what stacks is a solution on top of Bitcoin, and I mean this basically looks like any other DEX, doesn't it? But we are actually on the Bitcoin network, and we are on a second layer called Stacks network. Stacks allows us to run tokens and stuff on Bitcoin and do swaps and provide farm stake all on Bitcoin.
Okay.
I have no idea what stacks price is though.
I
I
might
mean,
have to
there's
leave
even
abruptly. I might have to leave
what
abruptly. I'm just expecting somebody to deliver something quickly. Okay.
is there a new car?
Yeah.
Remember
We.
what was the price that I said? It was on 60 cents,
Yeah.
I think 80 cents.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So even here they've got meme coins. The meme coin here I think is Welsh. Corgi, yeah. So I mean I think I sold out a lot of the position, but I kept this just for
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And I think I paid about one stacks at the time, and it wasn't $2.60. So I mean that's done well.
Yeah, you spoke about it
Mm,
like last year this time. Yeah. Mm.
mm. So there's a lot happening on Bitcoin with ordinals and the BRC20 tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who would have ever thought that we'd see Bitcoin wallets like Uniswap? Um, I'm not Uniswap, I'm MetaMask. We've got NFTs in a Bitcoin wallet, inscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, lots has
Mm.
changed.
Interesting. Mm.
Um, I guess maybe it's best to join the sessions every time. But I mean, it's still the crypto space, but it's expanding.
Mm.
See now more volume things came up.
I'm getting fancy now, huh?
It's a lot less than I used to have on the charts. I just put sessions over because I like
I don't think I can read a chart anymore.
it. Number go up.
Number
Um,
go up. Number go up, sell. Number go down, buy.
I wish Kiru was on the call because for me, I was telling him, the 2000 is a critical point for gold. Um, Lookouts come up and defended that, and I'm hoping that it closes the week above 2000.
What is gold?
Because yes,
Okay.
um, like I said, I mean, gold has to do some fighting here because but Bitcoin is going to take some of its market share, I think. And
Definitely.
I'm not complaining.
Mm.
And as we see there, the 26 ounces to one Bitcoin.
Mm.
Uh, The previous, oh, and then obviously that's the big news of today or yesterday. Bitcoin hit 1 million rand,
Yeah, I heard that.
which
Mm.
is depressing because Bitcoin is nowhere near an all-time high, which it was the last time that Bitcoin hit 1 million rand.
Yeah, it's depressing
So
because I don't have any.
never mind that. It's showing how bad the rand is. In the
Mm.
space of 3 years, we've lost that percentage between there and here.
Mm.
What would that be? 26, 2.6. That's almost 40% of value.
Mm.
I don't know. My math brain is maybe not on, but or buying power for that matter, which means that had we had Bitcoin at the all-time high and sold to dollars, we'd be much better off now at that point there than now.
Mm.
Because even holding Bitcoin, you'd still be better off also. I need to think my head around that one, but I think that is also what it's saying. Either Bitcoin or US dollars would have been better off than Rand. Hmm.
Is it too late to buy Bitcoin now?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I wouldn't buy it on leverage. I would say average in,
Mm.
like, I don't
Just
know
easy.
how long you were here, but I mean, for me, I'd say if we
I'm
came
kicking
back to
myself.
50,
I should have bought
50
more
and
small. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, look at Sol. So we're at 113 now. But I'd expect that if we get some level of a pullback and this becomes, tested, then 50K is a good area to buy. If we go a bit lower, maybe 48 something.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is more that, why do we ask ourselves, should we be buying now when,
Yeah. No,
yeah,
no. We should have bought it.
we're fearing,
We should
we're
have bought
fearing
it
it's gonna
20.
fall. I mean, I laughed so the other day. I don't know who said it. I was like, he was listening to Gareth Holloway, still waiting for 10K Bitcoin, and now it's at 50.
Yeah, it was Hussein on our group. You reckon he's waiting for the 10K Bitcoin? Yeah.
And I always tell people it
Yeah, I
never
think the
goes as
last time I
high and
met
it
you in
never goes
Durban.
as low. Yes,
Yeah, I think
where
the
was
last
it?
time I met you, remember I said we will.
Hmm.
Okay. Excuse me, Lynn. I just got someone here. Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
Okay. Yeah, so that kind of, I mean, last year to September, yeah, I know it's so clear to see it after the fact, but clearly there was buying happening here. Clearly there was buying happening there. Clearly there was buying happening there. There was certainly buying happening here. And I don't know, I'd be nervous to buy that like full on, but it's certainly average in if I plan to get a position in. This may not give you that again for a long while. But anyway, we shall end there. Okay, until the next one.